Welcome to the Crisler Center as we are ready for some Big Ten play between the Michigan Wolverines and the Washington Huskies. I'm Ethan Sommers along with Perry Mourtzinos. And Perry, we are excited for a good one here. What do you got for us?
Yeah, this one should be a battle. Michigan coming off the nice bounce-back victory at Purdue and West Lafayette after the tough stretch that they had, right? 4 top 10 teams in 5 games. Coming back home, though, it's not going to be an easy test. Washington shoots a 3 extremely well. That's prime for an upset, though.
As we get ready for tip-off, the starting lineups being announced now. Michigan went through a very tough stretch as of late, playing 4 top 10 matchups in a 5-game period. Went 0-4 in those games, but showed flashes, especially against number 9 Ohio State, where they were leading by 13 at half, but couldn't close the game out due to some defensive struggles in the third and especially fourth quarter there.
Yeah, and that, is probably due in part to the young talent on this team, right? Silas Swords, Olivia Hobbs, all young players. Olivia Olson, kind of still just getting their footing as freshmen, but it does bode well, as conference play continues here. And then hopefully, March appearance for these Wolverines to get these freshmen experience, even though they played, as you said, 4 top teams in 5 games. They played South Carolina earlier in the year, right? So they've had a brutal schedule thus far this season.
But for a young and inexperienced team, a brutal schedule can be exactly what they need. Speaking of those freshmen, the tandem Olivia Olson and Silas Swords have been outstanding for the Wolverines as of late. Olivia Olson averaging 16.8 points per game in conference play. Swords averaging 15.6 on the year. These two have been bringing in buckets night in, night out for this Wolverine squad, and something that they looked for from day one in their first collegiate appearance is to be that offensive dominant force for the Wolverines. Mila Holloway as well, facilitating the offense, has been outstanding for the Wolverines. And Jordan Hobbs, this is her 100th game wearing the maize and blue, so looking to show out here tonight against Washington.
Yeah, Swords and Olsen both average over 15 points. Holloway, as you mentioned, the third freshman starting. Cam Schrader and Grabowski have been phenomenal down low for this team as well. So I think they're excited. Obviously you get the nice rebound victory against Purdue, but you want to come home, right, come back to Crisler and be able to take care of business here against, Big Ten foe in Washington in their first Big Ten conference game against the Wolverines.
For Washington, Delia Daniels averaging a double-double in Big Ten play, 14.6 points per game and 10.8 rebounds per game, as well as Savia Sellers. Savia Sellers has been outstanding this season. She has completely increased her offensive role, averaging 15.6 points per game, but the most impressive thing, 44% from deep. She is a shooter, and she's been lighting up the floor recently for the Huskies. A big step from her freshman year now to her sophomore year for the Huskies.
Yeah, and in conference play, right, Washington shooting 40.6% from behind the arc. That's just an absurd number, best in the conference. Michigan has the best three-point defense in the country, though, so something's got to give here in this one.
As we look ahead to tip, Michigan coming off a win against Purdue, and Washington coming off a loss against the number 5 team in the country, a loss against number 20, Michigan State. As the tip is up, and it goes to Washington, as Sellers will now get the offense going on the first possession. She dribbles right. Handoff to Steins. Now Sellers drives inside. Reverse pass across in the corner. And the layup up, no good by Ledeen. Now here comes Holloway. Pushes the floor. Olsen driving right side. Backs down. Kicks it out to Holloway. Corner 3 up, no good. Rebound by Steins. And Washington will push the floor. Still 0-0 here as Sellers looks for an option on the right wing. Daniels now with Camp Schrader on her. Gives it to Ledeen. Swords on her at the right wing. Gets her handoff back to her, and that pass tipped out of bounds by Olsen, and it'll stay Huskies ball.
Yeah, good deflection there by Olsen. One stat that I'm always looking at, right, when you're talking about defense, is how many deflections does this team get? How active are their hands? That affects passes, that affects dribbles. Great defense there by Olsen.
4.9 left on the shot clock. Washington will inbound from the baseline. Gets it in, up top. Turning around, shot up. Rattles around the rim many times and finally drops in. That's 2 for El Ladine, and the Huskies open up the scoring early. Now a quick 3 on the other end. A foul and a basket. An and one three-pointer for Jordan Hobbs at the top of the key. Just a few seconds into the shot clock, and Michigan responds, goes up 3-2, and Hobbs, in her 100th game as a Wolverine, will have a chance to extend the lead to 4-2.
Yeah, Holloway, nice dribble penetration, found Hobbs wide open. 4-point play, though. Has the chance, doesn't go.
Free throw, no good. Rebound by Ike and the Huskies. Now here comes Ladine. On the right wing, back up top. Here's Sellers from deep range. No good, off the back iron, and rebounded by Hobbs.
Great rebound there.
Hobbs pushes the tempo, drives in, and gets it stripped away from her by Sellers. Sellers now driving down the lane, up for the layup and in. No contest there from the Wolverines. Michigan third highest turnovers per game in the conference, and there's one there. It gave up a basket. 4-3 Washington, 8:10 to play in the first. Here's Swords, wide open, left wing 3. That one's good.
Yeah, nice in rhythm catch and shoot 3. Pretty easy one for Silas Swords. She was hitting those in warm-ups.
Here's Sellers, gets a screen left. Backs it up now, Holloway on her. Gives it inside, down low to Ike. Drop step, can't find anything open. Kicks it out to Ladine at the top of the key. Spinning around, now behind the back move, trying to get space on Swords. Can't do it. Great defense by Silas Swords, and a travel call turnover. Wolverines basketball, 6-4, Michigan, 7:35 left.
Yeah, you said it. Great defense from Swords. Was up on her by the block M over here and just forced her into travel. That's elite on-ball defense. That's where these runs start from. They start with getting stops, and then the buckets will come later.
Michigan now takes it up. Holloway drops it off for Swords at the logo. And now Camp Schrader. Olsen inside, almost loses it, gets it back. Now on the right block, goes up, gets fouled, and she'll have 2 at the line.
Way to keep her composure on that. Just mishandled the pass a little bit, bobbled it, but very nice recovery, able to turn and draw the foul. Working inside and outside right now for the Wolverines offense.
Tegan Brown checks in for the Huskies for El Ladine. Olsen's first free throw good, and Michigan leads 7-4 with 7:20 remaining. Olsen will have one more attempt. And the freshman knocks down both. 8-4 Michigan. Sellers now crosses midcourt. Gets a screen left. And on the screen there's some contact and a foul called on Mila Holloway.
Yeah, just kind of ran through the screen there. Unfortunately, a foul there for Holloway. But good defense, at least on ball from the Wolverines thus far.
Here's Delia Daniels. Kicks it back out to Steins. Swing pass for Tegan Brown. Sellers left wing, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Holloway on her. Passes it up. Here's Brown driving in. Steins. And a foul called on the layup attempt by Steins. And that goes on Jordan Hobbs. 2 free throws coming up for the Huskies. Oh, they called it on the floor. So a baseline inbound, reset the shot clock. There was 1 second on the shot, and now 20. So a reset possession for the Huskies. Driving in, spin move, lefty layup, no good by Delia Daniels. And now Michigan will look to push the tempo. Here's Holloway at the top of the key. Sellers on her. And now Michigan will drop back and set up an offense. Holloway at the left wing. Gives it to Camp Schrader at the top of the key. Now Hobbs. Hobbs gets a screen from Swords. She's now at the top of the key. Behind the back move, fadeaway jumper from the free throw line. That one's good. Jordan Hobbs is coming out hot to start. Michigan leads 10-4, 6:12 remaining in the first.
Yeah, good bucket from the vet there as the clock's running down.
Sellers, fadeaway, mid-range from the elbow, no good. Michigan grabs the rebound, and Holloway takes it the other way, drives in, layup no good, gets her own rebound, puts it up, misses the layup, but gets the foul. Looked like she wanted the and one there, but could not finish.
Yeah, she's a little frustrated. She missed the back-to-back bunnies there, but still going to the line. Nice turn, nice baseline drive there from Holloway. Wolverines are working really, really well inside right now to get inside, and then I expect some threes to come out of that later.
Holloway knocks down the first free throw, and Michigan leads 11-4. 5:55 to play in the first. Holloway with her second attempt now. And that one's good as well. And Holloway will now take a seat for a little as Brooke Quarles-Daniels checks into the game for the Wolverines. Steins takes it up the floor and gives it to Sellers. 12-4 Wolverines, 5:44 to play in the first. Here's Sellers with Brooke Q. Daniels on her. Gives it up to Steins, now drops it low. Here's Daniels and a travel called on Delia Daniels and another turnover by the Huskies. It's Michigan ball, 5:35 to play, 12-4 Michigan.
Good defense from Hobbs on the ball there, but Olivia Olson ran and tried to cut off the pass and made Daniels think twice about making it, causing the travel there.
Olson on the right wing gives it to Swords, who now gets a screen from Camp Schrader. Swords drives in at the free throw line. A foul called, and they'll call it a block. Bang, bang play there, and it goes Michigan's way.
Yeah, Briggs' feet looked like they were still moving just a little bit there. Good call by the referee.
Michigan will inbound it on the baseline. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it in. Now corner three. Jordan Hobbs. That one's good. Jordan Hobbs on fire.
Phenomenal execution on the inbounds play. Nice little, inbound and then just kick out to the corner to Hobbs. Hobbs already has 8 points tonight.
Michigan up 11 early. 5 minutes to play in the first. 15-4. Driving in is Briggs. No good. Blocked away and rebounded by Silas Swords. Now Hobbs thought about the three. Now drives in. Kicks it out to Camp Schrader, who almost got it stolen away. But Brooke Q. Daniels corrals it. Olson now at the free throw line. Backing down and fades away. No good off the front iron. Rebound by Washington. Sellers pulls up from three from the right wing, and that one's no good off the back iron. Olivia Olson grabs the rebound, and here comes Jordan Hobbs. Camp Schrader wasn't looking and hit off her shoulder, but Hobbs was able to hit the deck and get the ball back, and now Silas Swords calms things down at the top of the key. 15-4 Michigan, just above 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Swords drives left, goes up with the left hand, no good. Tie up for the rebound. And the possession arrow, it belongs to Michigan. So it'll be Michigan ball when we come back from the TV timeout. 4 minutes to play in the first. Michigan leads 15-4. Perry, what have you seen so far?
I've seen a lot of good defense for the Wolverines. That's where I want to start. Only allowed 4 points thus far, 6 minutes into the game. As I mentioned earlier, right, this is a Huskies team shooting 40% from three. They haven't even let them shoot the three tonight. It's been twice. They both been by Sellers. One was the deep one just now, and then there was a three to open the game. But how do you allow a team to not shoot the three? You stay on them. They're not helping on inside drives. You've seen Delia Daniels has traveled twice off of that, but they're also coming over screens. Olivia Olson earlier made a phenomenal play where she came over the screen. Steins wanted to shoot it, and she just couldn't because Olson was giving her no space. So this has been really, really a good concentrated effort by the Wolverines to limit the three-point attempts from the Huskies in this one.
Michigan has done a great job playing some great defense, which is something that they have struggled with in their past few games. Michigan looking to get things back on track following their win against Purdue.
Yeah, schedule lightens up for them too. Washington, Rutgers, then you go on the road at Minnesota, and then you're back at Crisler against Michigan State. So those 2 games are going to be tough, so you've got to pick up 2 wins here, especially in conference play. They're only 12th in the conference right now due to 3 conference losses. So these should be, they're clearly coming out motivated, clearly coming out fired. Coach KBA made that a point, I'm sure, pregame, to not take this Huskies team lightly, because the teams that you take lightly that can shoot the 3 well, especially when Michigan, when when they lose is they give up a lot of turnovers, that's how you get upset. But the Wolverines have done a great job of limiting those 2 mistakes thus far.
Yeah, as you said, Michigan with some early conference play losses, but to teams that are projected to finish 1, 2, and 3 in the conference with USC, UCLA, Ohio State, all top 10 teams in the country. They've got a big ranked matchup as it stands now against Michigan State coming up in a few, but the schedule does lighten up pretty significantly after a tough road.
I mean, you can't get much more brutal than what they had these last 6
Throw in
days.
South Carolina and Oklahoma in non-conference play. But Michigan has shown some signs to compete with these teams. As now we get ready to restart play. Holloway inbounds it to Hobbs at the right block, puts it off the glass and in, and Jordan Hobbs putting on a scoring clinic. 17-4, Michigan, 3:50 to play in the first. Here's Sellers now. And now Ledeen kicks it inside to Sellers, who backs it out to the corner with Hobbs on her. Now inside. Here's Daniels. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Sellers now, right wing, step back 3. That one's good. A great move by Savia Sellers.
Huskies needed that 3 to go.
17-7 now. 3:18 to play in the first. Here's Mila Holloway. Gives it to the top of the key to Camp Schrader. Now Olsen on the right wing. Olsen dribbles left, now moves in. Almost got it stolen away from her, gets it back inside to Brooke Q. Daniels. A great pass from Olsen and a great finish. 19-7 Michigan.
Good vision again from Olsen. She's been able to keep her composure on the offensive end. Even though she hasn't scored a ton, she's impacting the game in a number of ways.
Washington looking to answer once again. Here's Sellers at the top of the key. Gives it inside to Daniels. And now a whistle and a travel called on Delia Daniels. And once again, another travel called on the Huskies. Michigan ball, 2:42 to play in the first, 19-7, the Wolverines lead.
I'm interested to see how these next 2, probably the rest of the quarter, Olivia Olsen's going to sit, but she's done a great job on Ledeen all night, who's averaging 15.8 points a game. So that's going to be interesting to see how the Wolverines defend her coming up here in the non-Olsen minutes.
Here's Holloway, takes a step back 3 from the top of the key, hits the deck after, doesn't get a whistle, and it's off the back of the rim. Huskies rebound. Driving in now is Steins, looking for options at the free throw line and gets it back from Sellers. Now gives it to Daniels on the left wing. Back to Steins on the top of the key. He dribbles left, now looking right. Asks for a screen, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Gives it inside to McDonald. Now one more pass. And an illegal screen called against the Huskies on Brenna McDonald. And once again, another offensive turnover. Just under 2 minutes to play. Michigan leads 19-7.
Yeah, Wolverines just the Huskies are just going deep into the shot clock every possession. It's not something that they want to do. It's something that they're just being forced to do. Here in this one, leading to those 2, that offensive turnover. They've had a couple others.
Swords pulls up from 3, and that one hits nothing and goes out of bounds. Huskies ball. 1:44 to play in the first quarter. Michigan with some full court pressure. Brooke Q. Daniels applying the pressure to Sellers. Hands it off to Ledeen. Now Brown gives it back to Ledeen, who drives right into the corner. Working on Swords, drives baseline, reverse layup, no good. Rebounded by Alyssa Crockett and the Wolverines. Now here comes Holloway, pushes the floor. Across to Q. Daniels. Back out to Holloway, who had the 3 but didn't take it. Now she looks for options on the right wing. Gives it to Swords at the top of the key. Swords gets a screen from Crockett. Now Crockett backs off. Crockett gets it at the top of the key. Back to Swords. Right wing three. And that one also an air ball. Hugh Daniels tried to save it, but couldn't. And it'll be Washington ball. Little short on the three-point attempts from Swords on back-to-back possessions.
Yeah, just hasn't found the shooting touch yet tonight from Swords, but impacting the game the other way. She's taking on the assignment of guarding Ladine now. Did a great job on that last defensive possession going straight up.
Sellers looking for room inside, now gets it back outside. Brooke Hugh Daniels making it hard for Sellers to get the ball. Now she takes a deep step back three. That one off the right iron and out of bounds, and it stays with Washington after Mila Holloway touched it last. Olsen checks back in for Brooke Hugh Daniels. There's 38.8 remaining in the first quarter. Washington ball from the sideline in front of the Michigan bench, 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, opportunity for a 2-for-1 here for the Huskies if they can go quick off the inbound.
They inbound it to McDonald. Now Ladine trapped in the corner by Swords and Grabovskaya. McDonald swing pass across the court. Thought about the three was Brown. Now pulls up for mid-range. That one too much on it. Up and over the rim, no good. And it goes Michigan basketball. 26.2 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off. 19-7 still as Holloway will dribble it up the floor. Michigan will most likely hold for one here. 13 seconds now. Gives it to Swords. Now they move in action. Crockett thought about the three. Gives it to Olsen on the left wing. Olsen, 6 seconds now. Gives it to Holloway at the top of the key. Swords gets an off-ball screen. Right wing three. That one off the back iron. No good. And Washington grabs the rebound as the clock expires. That's the first quarter. Michigan 19-7. Impressive defensive showing from the Wolverines.
Yeah, and there's really no other explanation than the fact that they're doing a great job defending the pick and roll right now. Grabovskaya hedged that last screen on Washington's defensive possessions, but they're also not turning the ball over, right? Not giving transition opportunities to this Huskies offense. They only have one turnover. Huskies have one steal right on that turnover. So it's a live ball foul. We saw it when Hobbs got the ball just stolen from her, pickpocketed by Sellers. So we've seen that here today. And if the Wolverines can keep up this defensive effort and limiting mistakes on offense, they're going to be in a good spot taking a 12-point lead here into the second quarter.
Yes, exactly. I mentioned earlier that Michigan is third most in the Big Ten in turnovers per game. However, winning the turnover battle 4-1 so far through one quarter. Definitely something that Michigan has been focusing on and something they are succeeding with so far in this one is winning that turnover battle. As well as rebounding has been a strength of this Michigan team throughout this year. They've been a great rebounding team from point guard all the way down to center. All five have been able to crash the glass. Right now, 10-9 Michigan in the rebounding battle. Washington has had some struggles rebounding as they rank in the bottom half of the Big Ten there.
Yeah, Michigan's also gotten 5, trips to the charity stripe here compared to 0 for the Huskies. So once again, Wolverines doing a great job of playing defense without fouling. The Huskies like to shoot from outside. The Wolverines have limited that. Sellers is the only Husky to take a three-pointer tonight. So far, the defensive effort from the Wolverines is what's winning them this game. And if that continues, to a point, it doesn't really matter how good the offense is, even though they are playing pretty well on offense, especially Jordan Hobbs.
Exactly. Like you said, this Michigan defense doing a great job of limiting the three-point attempts, and when they do attempt a three-pointer, it's a very difficult one. We've seen Sellers, she hit one, but she took 3 step-back threes contested there. And, I think the Michigan team is thinking if that's the shot that they're going to go with, then they're okay with that. And right now it's working. And like you said, you can't give a first quarter recap without talking about Jordan Hobbs. It's her 100th game as a Michigan Wolverine, and she has 10 first quarter points, 4 for 4 from the field, 2 for 2 from deep. Unfortunately missed her 1 free throw attempt, but a great start for Jordan Hobbs and the veteran that is leading this Michigan team.
Yeah, she's come out firing immediately from that 3 from the top of the key like you mentioned.
And we're underway in the second. It's Washington ball. Sellers gives it to Ike. He tries to give a bounce pass, and that's kicked away by Olsen to stop that pass from getting to the baseline.
Yeah, she was ready to run with that, too, if it wasn't called a kickball.
Inbounds pass goes to Ike. Kicks it out to Steins. Now drives left, kicks it back out. Daniels. Daniels almost had it stolen away from her by Hobbs. Here's Sellers, 7 on the shot clock, drives right, kicks it out to the corner. That three by Ledeen, no good, off the back iron, and rebounded by Mila Holloway. Holloway to Swords, pushing the tempo, drives baseline, pass inside, blocked away. Jordan Hobbs went up for the layup, and it was blocked away by Delia Daniels.
Yeah, really nice pass from Swords, but just a better defensive play from Daniels on the recovery there, blocking Hobbs from behind.
Holloway will inbound on the baseline. And an offensive foul called on the screen. They call the charge, and it's a turnover. Washington ball.
Yeah, nice little start of the quarter on both ends of the court. You had the wide open corner three from Ledeen that didn't go, but 2 phenomenal defensive plays already on this side. That's where runs start. I said it earlier, right? They start on defense before getting to offense.
Sellers now takes the ball up the floor for the Huskies. 9:20 remaining in the second quarter. Here's Steins driving left after the handoff from Ike. Now kicks it out. Sellers, left wing three. That one no good. And a rebound to the Huskies, but a foul called on a push-off by Ike, and Michigan will take possession.
See, that's even still, that's a three that Michigan can live with. It's contested. It's left from a couple feet behind the three-point line. Who's just really doing a phenomenal job on defense.
Now Hobbs in the corner. Spin move, stolen away from her, but out of bounds, and it'll stay with Michigan. Steins almost had the steal there off Jordan Hobbs from the spin move.
Yeah, almost the second time she's been pickpocketed there from behind there. Just, you can't see what's behind her. Somebody's just got to call that out on the floor.
Hobbs will inbound. They tried the same play that got her a three earlier. Now she takes it around, drives inside, layup off the glass, and no good. Ledeen now takes it coast to coast, drives in, now pulls it out, and that pass almost stolen away by Holloway. A little floater. Thought it was safe back to Sellers towards the top of the key, but Holloway got a hand on it and tipped it out of bounds.
Another good deflection on the kick out. We saw it from Olsen earlier. Holloway with a great job there.
Michigan playing impressive defense. 19-7, 8:38 to play. Ike at the free throw line thought about the jump shot, gave it inside to Daniels instead with Hobbs on her. Now great bounce pass to Ike, who lays it up with the left hand. 19-9. Michigan pushing the floor quickly. Swords on the block, dumps it down low. That layup no good by Kampschrader, who gets her own rebound, kicks it out. Hobbs, straightaway three. That one's good. Jordan Hobbs, have yourself a night. 22-9, Michigan, 8:12 to play in the second.
On the same spot she hit the first one. Just great kick out by Kampschrader, keeping her composure inside, and Jordan Hobbs just making everything.
Ike inside, kicks it out. Ledeen wide open for a mid-range. That one no good. And rebounded by the Huskies. Ledeen kicks it out to Sellers, and the Huskies will calm things down a little. 22-9, 7:45 left in the second quarter. Ledeen at the top of the key. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Ike, who puts it up, no good. A lot of contact, but no whistle. Holloway grabs the rebound, gives it to Hobbs, who's on the left wing. Drives in behind the back, kicks it out. Wide open straightaway three, Olivia Olsen. That one's good. And a timeout, Huskies. Michigan leads 25-9 here in the second as the Wolverines are pulling away.
And that's what happens when somebody has 13 points 12 minutes into the game. The Washington defense overcommits, and you've got your best scorer out for a wide open three. Smart play by Jordan Hobbs. Not trying to do too much, just trying to play within the flow of the offense, and that's led her to have 13 points here tonight. But I want to talk about the deflection by Holloway on the other side, because you might be saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter. You still have 20 seconds left on the shot clock. It's sneakily really important, right? It allows you the chance to reset your defense, reset your matchups. You never know if something happened during a pick and roll. Maybe you've got a big on a guard, something like that. That's why those deflections are so key. Just that quick 30 seconds, 45 seconds to just reset, communicate, I've got her, really allows you to set your defense.
Michigan only 2 points allowed in this quarter so far. And back-to-back threes for the Wolverines. Hobbs with 13. Olsen now with 5.
Yeah, Wolverines also shooting 50% from deep. I'm hearing this one. Obviously, that's helped by, Jordan Hobbs going 3 for 3 from 3. But still just an absurd number with the triples right now that they're hitting. And 25 points just to 9 points allowed. Washington hasn't even crossed double digits yet. And, that defensive effort, though, does have to continue. It's still early. It's only 16 points. Washington's a team that can get hot.
Washington, as we said, an outstanding three-point shooting team this year up to now. A little bit of struggle going on with some great defense being played by Michigan. They're 1 for 6 from deep so far. Uncharacteristic, and it seems like what can go wrong will go wrong right now for the Huskies.
Yeah, I mean, they really had that nice defensive possession at the beginning of this quarter where, Daniels came up from behind, chased her down, and then Ladine drew an offensive foul from Grabaskaya. But other than that, they've just got to play better on-ball defense. Hobbs, Holloway, they've been able to get penetration, leading the kickouts, and leading your defense kind of being messed up. So they've got to play better on the ball to stop allowing this penetration.
And moving away from the media timeout, it'll be Huskies ball, 25-9, 7:26 to play here in the second quarter. Sellers dribbles it up now for the Huskies. Gives it to Ike, who now weighs her options as she faces the basket. Gives it to Sellers on the left wing, who dribbles right, drives inside, gets past Holloway, layup good, and nice move by Sellers to get in front of Holloway and convert on the layup. Now Holloway goes coast to coast, goes up and gets fouled by Daniels, and she'll get 2. Some fast-paced answering by Mila Holloway. After she gets beat on one end, she goes down and gets 2 shots at the line on the other.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of teams that can run after make, and with Sellers on the ground, Daniels had to just go over and pick up Holloway until it was too late with a full head of steam. Just dangerous at the rim, drew the foul.
First free throw is no good, in and out. And yeah, great heads-up play by Holloway to recognize her defenders on the ground behind her and to push the pace. Second free throw is good. She goes 1 for 2 on that trip. 26-11 now. Michigan leads. Just under 7 to play. Sellers now orchestrating this Washington offense. Gets a screen from Ike. Now passes it to the corner to Ladine. Now inside. Here's Daniels. Backing down Hobbs, and she dribbled it out of bounds.
Again, great defense inside Daniels. Hobbs, for as good as she's been on the offensive end, she's been equally phenomenal on the defensive end. I believe that's the second turnover that she's forced on Daniels. She had to travel earlier in the first quarter as well.
Here's Olsen now, swings it across to Hobbs on the right wing, now drives in, kicks it back out to Campschrader for 3. That one off the back iron and no good, rebounded by Washington. Here comes Sellers, cross-court pass to Ladine, who thought about the 3 and now drives in on Campschrader. And a nice bounce pass, backdoor cut by Steins, and she finishes the wide-open layup, 26-13, Michigan leads. Michigan pushing the pace, Holloway turns it over, and now here comes Steins. Once again, driving in, left-handed finish. That one's good. Steins with back-to-back layups, and it's 26-15 now.
Yeah, really the only bad stretch of basketball we've seen for the Wolverines is just 2 possessions. But just you can't lose, track of who you're guarding on the backdoor cut there.
Hobbs now trying to make a move inside. Kicks it out to Campschrader, who gives it to Swords in the right corner. Gets a screen from Campschrader. Now Swords on Daniels. Gives it to Holloway at the elbow. Kicks it out to the corner. Olivia Olsen for 3. That one's good. Olivia Olsen hits again, and Michigan extends their lead back to 14. Steins now on the left wing. Gives it to Sellers on the right side. Now Ladine with Swords on her. Gives it to Ike at the right block. Back out to Ladine, who thought about the 3. Now gives it back inside to Ike. Cross-court pass to the corner. Steins corner 3 from the left side, and that's good. An answer from the Huskies.
Yes, Steins is single-handedly keeping the Huskies in this quarter right now. She had the 2 layups, that 3 there, and 3 straight offensive possessions for the Huskies.
29-18. Hobbs, deep three. Oh my God, Jordan Hobbs.
And that's a little bit of a heat check there, right there, Ethan.
Jordan Hobbs early in the shot clock just pulled up from way behind the line, and she can't miss right now. Sellers inside. And stepped out of bounds, and a turnover. Jordan Hobbs is leaving this Crisler Arena speechless. All going through now. 35-18 Wolverines. And just as it seemed like Washington was creeping back into this game, they cut it to 11. Michigan hits back-to-back threes. Excuse me, 3 threes in a row.
Yeah.
As Sellers hits the floater in the paint, 35-20, 3:45 remaining in the second. Brooke Hugh Daniels in the right corner, kicks it to Hobbs at the top of the key, and now you're just waiting for her to shoot. And here she goes, top of the key, that's deep, and she finally can't get one to go. That heat check, no good. And now Steins, wide open three from the left wing, no good. Offensive rebound for the Huskies and put up and in by Daniels. And now it's a 13-point game, 35-22, 3:17 to play in the second quarter. Silas Swords at the Michigan logo now gives it to Brooke Hugh Daniels on the right wing. Olsen to Hobbs, back to Swords on the left wing now. And Hobbs on the top of the key with Ladine all over. Now drives in right, goes up, gets fouled, and she'll have 2 at the line.
Yeah, it's important that this three-point barrage just kind of come when it has, because the defense is starting to slip a little bit. But when you've got Jordan Hobbs, who has a chance to get her 17th and 18th points here tonight, just shooting the lights out, quite honestly, it's going to be tough for these Huskies to come back.
Hobbs will get 2 at the line now. First one's no good.
The only spot she's missed from tonight feels like it's been the line.
One thing that's important for Michigan to keep in mind is while the three, it's been hitting and they've been hot from behind the arc as Jordan Hobbs hits the second free throw, you can't get too dependent on it because that's how teams can sneak back into games.
Exactly.
Now Washington looking for answers, trying to shorten this lead before halftime. Here's Daniels driving in, hands it off to Steins at the right elbow. Looking for options now, she picks up her dribble. Here's Daniels, mid-range shot. That one off the back iron, no good, rebounded by Olsen. 2:30 to play in the second quarter. Olsen pushing the pace, drives right after a crossover move. That one no good, rebounded by Daniels. And now here comes the Huskies. Sellers now, stop, pull up from mid-range. Hobbs rebounds, no good. Gives it to Olsen on the left side. Driving right now. Thought about the spin, pulls it out. Hobbs, top of the key 3 off the front iron, no good. And a foul called on Sellers.
Yeah, good
on
hustle.
The rebound.
Good hustle by Daniels to try and get into the corner there. The smaller Sellers just kind of had to wrap her up, but you know, now you kind of set the three-point shooting cooling off a little bit.
Tired legs a little as Jordan Hobbs on cue will go take a seat as her head coach gives her some claps as she comes off. Swords now gets the inbound pass. Mid-range air ball, no good. And she's saying it was tipped, but the ref does not agree. And it'll be Washington basketball.
That ball definitely looked tipped. Rotation changed a little bit. Silas Swords doesn't miss, you know, a mid-range from just beyond the line air ball often, so.
Here's Daniels now with tight defense from Crockett on her. Gives it to Stein, who thought about the 3. Gets Delphos on the air. Now Daniels inside with Crockett on her. Spin move, reverse layup. That one's good. A great move there by Daniels.
Really nice finish.
Silas Swords on the left wing. 1:20 to play, 36-24 Michigan, and the lead's back down to 12. As Tayala Delfos now with the ball. Gives it to Camp Schrader. Now Swords, top of the key, gets a screen from Camp Schrader. Looking for options, crosses over, dumps it down low to Brooke Q. Daniels, but a foul called. And a charge. An offensive foul called on Silas Swords, and it's Husky ball, 1:05 to play. Michigan leads by 12.
Yeah, nice defensive play by Briggs, just kind of stepping in the lane. And even though Swords gave up the ball first to Daniels, she still, just kind of ran through the body of Briggs, leading to that offensive foul.
Hobbs checks back in for Camp Schrader for the last minute of the half. Here's Stein, top of the key. Daniels kicks it back out to Sellers. Crossover move on Brooke Q. Daniels. Now floater, mid-range floater, no good. Offensive rebound by the Huskies, and Ladine cleans it up and puts it in. 36-26, 30 seconds to play in the second quarter. 7-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Looks like Michigan will use all of the shot clock, as now they go in motion with 12 seconds left. Hobbs, behind the back move, crossover, now spin move inside, tries to put it up, blocked away by Daniels. Now here come the Huskies. Steins to Sellers, over the top to Daniels. The layup no good, rebounded by Swords. 3 seconds left, she puts it up from full court, and it hits the front iron, no good. And we'll head to halftime, 36-26, a 10-point game, as Washington shows some great in the last 5 or so minutes of the second quarter to get themselves back in this one. Michigan hasn't scored in 3 minutes.
Yeah, nice little run from the Huskies, and where's it start? It starts on defense. As you said, Michigan hasn't scored in 3 minutes. They're 0 for their last 5. Some of that's as a result of Jordan Hobbs slowing down. Obviously, one of those shots is the Silas Swords, three-quarter of the court heave there at the end. But Washington has something to build on now entering the second half. Before it didn't really felt like they did. They were kind of scrambling a little bit on both sides. But now if you're, going back to the locker room, if you're the Huskies, if you're Sellers, if you're Daniels, if you're Ladine, if you're Steins, who's played a really good game tonight, you've kind of got a little bit of some motivation, some momentum going for Washington.
Yeah, and one thing that's noticeable for me for the first half there is Washington is yet to take a free throw attempt in this game. They trail by 10. Michigan has no foul trouble whatsoever, just a few with one, and they have yet to get to the free throw line. They need to do a better job of driving inside, drawing some contact, and getting to the line to get some points that way, as right now their three-point shooting is not where they would like it to be. Their field goal shooting in general is not where they would like it to be. So I think some ways that they can get some to have those girls see some shots go through the basket, which can always help as a shooter, is to get to the free throw line and get some points that way.
Yeah, and, they're right. Like, that's one way to do it. Also, Michigan's done a great job of not being overly aggressive, right, on the ball, behind the arc, right? That can lead to reach and fouls, and that can run up your free throw count as well, leading to, a team being in the bonus. Washington hasn't even come close to that. They haven't gone inside a lot. They did it better in that half, but, one was a Stein backdoor cut. Another one was just like a simple drive where she just beat, the first defender, and really no help came from Michigan. So there really hasn't been a lot of contested, inside drives yet for the Huskies. And when they have gone inside, especially on the block, couple travels, they've stepped out of bounds a couple times. Sellers done that. Daniels has done that. So, that kind of limits the foul count as well. But I expect, that to be a point of emphasis for the Huskies in the locker room.
Well, it's been a fun first half. Michigan looked like they were going to blow this thing out of the water early, but Washington fought back and kept themselves in this one as they trail by just 10 now. As we head into the second half, it should be a fun one. As Perry and I will leave you, we'll have Alana Richardson and Charlie Mitchell on the call for the second half. Don't go anywhere. We've got a fun second half of Big Ten basketball between Michigan and Washington here on WCBN.
6. Now this game has been really exciting so far. I mean, Michigan taking the lead pretty quickly and been able to hold on to that lead. It has been pretty exciting so far. Charlie, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, definitely a weird half. Both teams are shooting under 40%. The main difference so far in this game, Michigan 50% from the field from 3. That has given them much of a control of this game, and for most of the first half in general, they controlled the game from start to finish. Washington showed a lot more momentum towards the second end of the first half. They definitely pushed the ball to the basket more, and in the first half they definitely looked a very stagnant offense. Michigan forced them to a lot of tough shots, but started attacking the basket more in the post more towards the end of the first half. And they've cut down the lead to the lowest it's been for most of the first half, down to 10 going into halftime. And the main performance so far in the first half, Jordan Hobbs, 16 points. She was phenomenal, and for a good portion of that game, she was the main lifeblood of this Michigan offense. And the last thing I like to talk about, both these teams are led by mostly by their duo of guards, Olivia Olson, Silas Swords for Michigan, El Ladine, and Savia Sellers for Washington. Both those guard duos produced pretty similar in that first half, with Ladine and Swords both having pretty quiet first halves. Swords struggling a lot from the field, only 1 to 6. Ladine has not been able to find a shot so far in that first half. She had a very quiet game so far.
I mean, yeah, couldn't agree more. Jordan Hobbs shooting incredibly tonight. I think there was a point in the game when she was shooting her threes 100%. I mean, that is incredible, and I think the guys were talking about it a little bit earlier. It's her 100th game here at Crisler as a Michigan Wolverine. I think some of that good luck is maybe giving her a little bit of good luck energy as she enters into this game, and it was so apparent in her shooting. I think right now she is the team is around, 50% for their three-pointers, and I think that's pretty good so far in comparison to the Washington's 25%. I think overall Washington's ability to finish in their shooting and their scoring, their layups, all of it, I think that's kind of what's been limiting them in this game. I think sometimes when they get in to go take those layups, they're just not landing those shots, and that's where Michigan has a little bit of a difference and a little bit of the upper hand over Washington in this game. Just their ability to finish. And like you said, Jordan Hobbs having an absolutely stellar game. She is on fire. Silas Swords, Olson, those are two other really big point scorers for this Michigan offense, and they have been quiet today, like you said. Expect a little bit more out of both of them, but the game is still young. So much more game left to be played. But yeah, Q Daniels has a few points up there. It's been good offensively for Michigan. Their defense, however, incredibly doing the same thing. Incredible stuff. Overall, the depth of this team is what's been making them so incredible this season. Their ability to transition from offense to defense, incredible, and really is what is making this Michigan team so good. But this Washington team, like you said, their inability to finish has not been that great yet. Their field goal percentage for both teams is the same, 39%, which it doesn't really feel like that watching that. It feels like Michigan is. Yeah,
it's an odd first half. Michigan's 3-point percentage much higher than their general field goal percentage, and a pivotal game this is a pretty pivotal game for both teams. Washington looking for their first signature win of the season. Michigan looking to backtrack after a rough stretch against 3 different top 10 teams.
Yep. These teams have gone 3 for 3 in the past, so I think the 7th game is a big one to see who's going to come out with that higher number. Who's going to go 4 and 3 in this Michigan-Washington rivalry? Washington just entering the Big Ten, so it's exciting for them for these new lineups and new games to happen in the Big Ten Conference. Well, we are back underway in Crisler. Jordan Hobbs inbounds the ball. Michigan on attack. The score is 36-26 Michigan. Hobbs looks like she's going to shoot, drives in, takes a layup, and that is good.
Yeah, Hobbs continues with a nice stretch, up to 19 points already.
Starting off the half well, Washington, top of the key, working it around. Under the hoop, goes up for a layup, and she is fouled.
Yeah, Washington right there, trying to get Ella Dean, who is very quiet in the first half. They got her to a cutting pass to the hoop, gets fouled, and it's going to head to the line.
This might be their first time at the line this whole game.
Yeah, this is their first free throw attempt.
Wow,
of the
crazy.
game.
Happening in the second half. She shoots. Her first point is good. 9:37 left in this game. First quarter, I mean. She shoots, second shot is no good. Michigan taking it pretty quickly up the field, under the basket. Looks like she's going to go up. They work it around one more time. Holloway dribbling at the top of the key. Working it around, taking this offense slow and steady. Cam Schrader fakes it. Back outside to Holloway, who drives. And she scores a 2.
Yeah, Holloway with a quiet first game did not convert on a field goal attempt. Gets started out right here at the beginning of the second half.
Mm-hmm. Sellers drives up for a layup and is fouled. That is Michigan's second foul of this third quarter. Excuse me.
Yeah, again, Washington able to get a guard cutting into the basket, gets fouled. Sellers able to convert on the layup, and it's going to be an and one opportunity.
She shoots and scores. Hobbs inbounding the ball to Holloway. The score is 40 Michigan, 30 Washington. Working the ball around the top. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. Olsen dribbling, passes to the corner to Swords, who drives in, fade away, and scores. And that is a great ball movement around the key.
Yeah, for Swords, that good shot to get right there. She was struggling shooting, now 2 of 7 from the field.
This Michigan help defense is really incredible. They are just all over the place. Sellers again with another point under the basket.
Yeah, and these Washington guards being a lot more aggressive going to the hoop in the second half.
Seems like there's a little bit more confidence in this Washington offense. Olsen shooting a 3. No good. Oh, a little scrap there in the corner. Washington comes up the ball. And they work it around once again. Sellers in possession of the ball, top of the key. Screen. And they shoot and they miss. Swords battling for the ball under the basket. It is a jump ball, Washington. Wow, you can definitely tell some halftime adjustments were made for Washington. They are a lot more aggressive in this period.
Yeah, Washington had some issues struggle with like you said, finishing in the first half. They've been definitely driving the ball and working inside more.
Yep. There's a shot up, back out to the outside of the key where they work it around again. Shot from Daniels. It is no good. Rebounded by Swords, who passes it to Hobbs, who takes it in for wow, very, very fouled under the hoop right there.
Yeah, Hobbs had looked for an opportunity right there. Had an open look, really.
She almost had a quick breakaway right there.
Yeah, hard foul by Doya Daniels.
Yeah.
And Hobbs is going to head back to the free throw line. One tidbit is Washington actually leads the Big Ten in three-point percentage, and a very rough night for them. Only 2 of 8, 25%.
Hobbs is right now. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Not been able to find their shooting form, and Hobbs will convert the first free throw.
She is 2 for 4 right now. Hoping to get out and higher than that number. And she is unable to do so. Olsen tries to fight for that rebound and also is unable to do so. Washington pressing up the court very quickly. Passing it around. And rebounds for Michigan. Quickly up the court to Olsen, who passes it over, and a point for Grabowska.
Yeah, nice fast break opportunity right there. Olsen able to push it, draw a defender and grab a sky is there for the put the lay in.
Sellers taking a deep three, and she sinks it. Wow, beautiful shot. Olsen taking it under the hoop, fighting for that shot, and is able to get it off. Score 47, Michigan, 35, Washington.
Yeah, Olsen able to push the ball to the hoop again. It gets able to get a shot off. It falls in for her.
The scrappiness of these plays is really, these fast breaks are great for Michigan. Washington working it around the top of the key, looking to get a shot off as the shot clock is down to 3 seconds, and Michigan is able to get a turnover, drives it in, and wow, beautiful play right there by Holloway, drives it in, and is able to get that point.
Yeah, Holloway in fast break, able to convert the layup. I believe Sellers picks up a foul. She was in the restricted area. It's going to be an and one opportunity for Sellers, and play caused by a great play on the defensive end. Grab a sky on. Was able to get a deflection with Sellers, and they were able to get a wide open lane to the basket.
Holloway shoots and makes the point. She's having a much better second half so far than her first. She scored a lot more points, a lot more fast breaks. She's overall just more noticeable this second half so far. Washington inbounding the ball.
Yeah,
Michigan looks like they're putting on a full court press. We've not seen this yet this game. It's exciting. Washington able to get it over half court line, working the ball around. Briggs over to Coppinger. Over to Ledeen, back to Ledeen, and Michigan causes another turnover. Silas Swords goes for the layup and misses the layup. Wow, having a little bit of an off game scoring-wise. Defense looking great. That defensive play right there, although it looks great. Washington did just score. The point, the score, Michigan 50, Washington 37. We have 4:57 left in this period.
Yeah, uncharacteristic possession from there. Silas Swords just bricks a layup very hard.
Olsen goes for the shot and is given a charge. Wow. Washington inbounding the ball, and it looks like a timeout called for Michigan.
Yeah, that stretch right there, pretty tough stretch for Michigan. They have got a wide open complete lane for Silas Swords on the deflection. Grab a sky up once again atop the key. Just doesn't convert. No, but I mean it was easiest look she's had all night, and on the other end, Washington's able to get a quick shot drive to the hoop, and then next possession, Olivia Olsen picks up a charge. So for Michigan, not a great stretch, but still has a 13-point lead here, and I mean, Michigan's lead for most of this game has fallen around this range, and Washington has gone on some runs, but they really haven't been able to cut in well into this game. And
yeah, definitely. I mean,
both teams playing better offensively in this half. Washington definitely has struggled with some of the ball pressure that Michigan's applying to them, especially at the top of the key. Grab a sky with forcing two steals on the perimeter so far, and tough. We'll see if Washington's able to adjust and break this ball pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I know I had talked about how Washington had been missing their layups and shots, kind of rushing through it, but it seems like whatever they talked about during their halftime meetings, they definitely made some adjustments. They're taking a lot more time to really get those shots off, be responsible about these shots, and really get their skills down. Whereas Michigan doesn't really seem like they're exactly able to do that. Well, they're not able to do that. Michigan is able to capitalize on these turnovers. They're stealing the ball between the key and the half-court line and is able to get on these fast breaks, but they're falling short a little bit in their ability to finish. I think incredible job putting the defensive pressure on. Michigan is doing an incredible job at that, but just like you just said, Silas Swords missing that layup. That's been happening quite a few times. But other than that, this game has been exciting. Score 50, Michigan, Washington 37. We have 4:49 minutes to go. Michigan just called this this timeout. Seems like they wanted to get the momentum back under their control. Washington is putting a lot of pressure on, able to score quite a bit. Although, like you said, the score is still maintaining this gap that neither team is able to. Michigan can't pull away. Washington can't get up there and tie the game. So we've kind of had this gap for a little bit. But we're getting back underway right now. The timeout is now over.
Yeah, and Savia Sellers been very aggressive this half. Hit a big 3, 8 points so far. Definitely has been Washington's best player in the second half.
We are back going once again. Washington inbounds the ball, slowly dribbling it up the court, and it plows over her own player, it looks like.
Yeah, that's just that's an obvious foul on Brooke Daniels. Just completely ran over the screener, and
yeah,
she's gonna pick up her first foul of the game.
Yeah, wow. Very quickly a foul right after that timeout. But everyone seems like they need a little bit of a breather after that one. That was quite a big hit she took right there. Pointing at something on her elbow, looks like she needs a Band-Aid maybe? Or maybe just a little bruise.
Yeah, looks like
time is stopping for it.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of abrasion. Looks like Washington's going to get a quick huddle here on their end of the floor.
Yep. After collisions like that, I think everyone needs a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a reality check in a sense. So for both teams, that goes for both teams. But Washington's going to inbound the ball from the side as everyone gets settled back in after that foul. Silas Swords making her defensive pressure known. Sellers dribbling on the top of the key. She is the heart and soul of this Washington offense. Jumper, short jumper, misses it. Jordan Hobbs for the rebound, pushing it up the court to Olsen. And wow, a really big block foul on Washington.
Yeah, back-to-back possessions, pretty
egregious fouls.
Pretty hard fouls.
Yeah.
Grabaskaya caught the pass. It looks like Chloe Briggs is going to pick up the foul. Try to draw a charge. Just was not set, and it's going to be Michigan ball once again.
Jordan Hobbs inbounding it for Michigan as they run this play with 26 seconds on the shot clock. Up to Grabaskaya, who misses a very close range shots. Back around to Silas Swords at the top of the key. And she calls for a reset, run a play. Jordan Hobbs. Olsen streaking under the hoop, wide open to Olsen. Back to Grabaskaya, and she scores 2.
And Yulia Grabaskaya with a pretty good quarter so far, especially on the defensive end. Missed a layup there, but got her own miss. Kept the possession alive and able to convert eventually.
Washington goes for a drive and misses. Michigan gets the rebound. Swords going up for it and is able to score 2. That might be, she's only at 5 points so far this game. It's kind of a slow offensive game for her. Defensively, on the other hand, she is all over the court. Like I said earlier, making her defensive pressure known.
Yeah, and Washington's going to take a timeout here.
Yep.
And Michigan blew in their lead up to 17. One of the, I believe, the largest lead of the game is for them this game has been 18. And back to good stretch for the Wolverines. Once again, I had a great on the defensive end, and a player really struggling for Washington so far is Tyra Eke. Just not been able to finish whatsoever inside. She's had a couple of good looks, and Michigan's been able to get some good looks the last couple of possessions. Grabaskaya able to finish on a wide open look, and previous Silas Swords was just able to get to the basket for a clean shot. So.
Yeah, Eke has had some great opportunities under the hoop. That's a great point. She's not been somebody we've talked about much. She only has 2 points this game, but like you said, incredible opportunities for her, but she is just unable to finish.
Yeah, and again, if Washington has not had success playing a perimeter-oriented game, they usually, similar to this Michigan team, try to maximize the amount of three-point shots they can. Just has Michigan on the perimeter just not been giving them those opportunities, and while they try to make the adjustment of working inside, but if Eke is going to continue to miss some easy shots, I mean, badly, it's gonna be difficult for this Washington team to get back in the lead right now, especially with the difference being 17 points.
Yes, and Michigan is doing an incredible job defensively all over the court. The pressure happening right at the 50 to all the way under the hoop. It's been incredible and has been really stopping these Huskies in their tracks, so to say. But you know, there has to be some adjustments. I mean, Washington did just call a timeout. I would assume that they are trying to make some adjustments for how to score a little bit. I mean, they're struggling quite a bit. Michigan's defense is just really shutting them down. Eki needs to start putting some points on the board. She is now subbed out. But the score here in Crisler Center, 54 Michigan, 37 Washington. We have 3:35 left in this third quarter. But with that being said, Michigan's field goal percentage right now is just under 50%. It is at 49, while Washington is at 39. So there's a 10% difference between those two scores, and I think that's reflective in the overall score of the game.
Yeah, Michigan with a much stronger shooting performance from the inside this half. A lot of their offense came from the perimeter. We're inside themselves, more 8 of 11 on field goal attempts so far in this half.
Yep. Well, we are back underway. Washington Sellers dribbling all over the top of the key, really keeping possession. Wow. Loses possession to Q Daniels, who throws it over to Hobbs, who drives in, over to Olsen, and a turnover under the hoop. What a back and forth play that was. There was a lot of quite a few turnovers in that play.
Cork Daniels with amazing that hustle play to keep that ball alive and get a transition opportunity. Michigan just not able to convert and turns the ball back over to Washington.
Sellers again dribbling the top of the paint, looking over to Steins, who pulls up right outside of the 3. She scores a 2. Hobbs inbounds to Swords, who quickly takes it up the court. Passing it around, passing it to Hobbs. Looking to run a play here. Olsen streaking under the hoop. Back to Swords. Under the hoop and close. Washington takes the ball up the court to the 50, looking to pass it quickly. Ledeen fouled under the hoop.
Beautiful move there by Ledeen. Able to get a drive. Nice kind of Euro step look right there. Michigan tries to draw the charge, gets called for a block. It's going to be an one opportunity for Ledeen.
Yep. She is 1 for 2 at the line right now, looking probably to improve that quite a bit.
Yeah, Ledeen, Washington's leading scorer, has not had a lot of opportunities so far in this game, but 2 nice plays for her in this first half so far, and she's able to convert the layup. She's up to 11 points.
She scores her free throw shot, and is Swords taking it up the court for Michigan. Washington playing more of a zone defense. Krabowska, good under the hoop for 2.
Yeah, last 2 possessions, Michigan going to grab a sky, and right there, she able to bowl her way to the basket and finish.
Washington working it around the paint. And Ledeen looking for a layup, but it is a charge. And she is just running on back, and it's Michigan's ball.
Yeah, looks like an illegal screen there. Ledeen tried to curl inside the hoop. She's able to Michigan player wasn't set, and Michigan's going to get the ball back.
Camp Schrader back in. We haven't seen her in a little bit. Olsen driving in. The stellar freshman misses the shot. Washington ball once again. Briggs carrying it up the court for Washington. Over to Steins. Over to Ledeen once again. To Daniels under the hoop. Goes in for a layup. It is no good. Holloway up the court for Michigan. Over to Olsen. Olsen dribbling around the paint. Jumper, and the jumper is good. Beautiful shot. Quick release.
Yeah.
That's some great basketball right there.
Olsen drove the basket, found some space, able to drill a moving mid-range shot.
Yes, Daniels under the hoop, and a shot from Ledeen is good. That is a 3-point shot. The score: Michigan 58, Washington 45. We have under a minute to go with 50 seconds left.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot more from Washington's guard combinations, Sellers and Ledeen. They've really gotten it going this quarter.
Ledeen really opening it up for Washington. Holloway taking a three-pointer, missing. Under for Kravaskia, and that is good. 2 points for Michigan. Washington, we have 30 seconds left in this quarter period. My God, excuse me. Ledeen for at the top. Over to Briggs. Under for Daniels. Washington doing a great job moving this ball. About a little bit of a scrap right there. Washington maintains possession of the ball. 10 seconds left on their shot clock. 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Steins goes up for the shot and is fouled by Olsen.
Bit of a tough call for some Michigan fans. A lot of Michigan fans think that was a tough call. Steins drove to the basket. Looked like it was going to get blocked. Fortunately for Michigan, the foul's going to be called. Steins going to head to a line, and she's had a nice game so far, up to 9 points. Opportunity to add 2 more here at the line.
First time at the line right now for Steins. And she misses her first shot. Steins definitely cooking up in this the second half for sure. She takes her second shot, and it is good. She has 10 points in this game so far. Holloway, 3 seconds left in the game. Oh, and it goes off her foot and out of bounds, and that is the end of the quarter.
Again, I mean, another quarter, 1 more to go, and this game so far has played out very similar. A lot more stronger offensive quarter from both those teams. They've definitely found some rhythm offensively, especially after a very cold first and second quarter from both teams. I mean, both teams are now shooting over 50% in the second half, and again, Washington able to find 2 of 2 from 3. Definitely not the volume Michigan had in the first quarter for the perimeter, but definitely improvement for them.
Yeah, Michigan has stayed around 49% for their field goal percentage right now. They have been, it doesn't seem like they're taking many shots, but then again, the shots that they're taking just either lots of layups. We're missing Jordan Hobbs' incredible performance in the first half. She was just a shooting star, quite literally, and we need to bring that back. I think she was shooting so well, kind of fell off a bit, but would love to see some more of that coming up.
We saw Michigan go a little bigger in this quarter with Yulia Grabaskaya, and she was very productive. 4 of 6, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 offensive rebound, and again, she was really able to get some nice plays on the perimeter on the defensive end, generating 2 turnovers.
Absolutely.
She played a great quarter, especially not really having much production in the first half in general. And for Michigan, again, your freshman guard trio all producing it, but not really one with a major performance that third quarter. We definitely see Olivia Olsen be the most active, 2 of 4 from the field. Swords with also 4 points. Missed an easy layup on a fast break opportunity. And so far, that quarter was mainly defined by Washington's guards showing up, but I mean, their guards combined for 17 points in that quarter, but not their lead. The Michigan's lead increased to 14 from the end of the first half, from 10 at the end of the second quarter. So
I think every time Grabaskaya gets in the game, I mean, she is 6'5". I think she makes an incredible difference as soon as she gets in there.
Both these teams are composed pretty similar. They don't have a real true big, play a little smaller and play for the perimeter.
And we are back underway. This fourth quarter underway. Michigan in possession of the ball, swinging it around the paint. Holloway at the top, over to Swords. Washington playing some pretty vicious defense, getting a hand on that ball. Able to cause a turnover almost. Hobbs taking it in and is able to finish. 2 points for Hobbs.
Yeah, Washington not able to defend Jordan Hobbs one-on-one this game. She continues to be Michigan's
Her
star
speed and height.
offensively.
Her speed and height is what sets her apart for sure. Washington, Ladine for 2. Holloway moving it to Swords. Michigan tries to shoot, and they are no good. Washington quickly taking it up the court. Ladine with the ball. Looks like she's going to drive. Decides to kick it back out. Walking it around once again. Steins with the ball, the top of the key. Looks like she's going to shoot. Holds back to work it around once again. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. In the corner for Coppinger is no good.
Whoa, a tough break for there. Michigan overhelped defensively. Wide open shot for Coppinger.
Hobbs. Hobbs is fouled on the floor. Michigan will maintain the ball under the hoop.
Yeah, Hobbs looked to gather there inside. Sellers went for a steal, reaches in. It's going to be an on-the-floor foul. Michigan will retain possession.
Holloway will inbound it for Michigan under the hoop. As they run a play, Olsen fights for possession under the hoop. Able to keep the ball. Pulls up for a bit of a fadeaway. And that is rebounded by Delfasi.
Yeah, no, Foss with a nice hustle play in there. And looks...
Hobbs tries to fight for that rebound under the hoop and is unfortunately gets a touch on it, so it maintains Washington ball under the hoop.
Yeah, Delfos, not the biggest player on the court, but able to work her way for a rebound and able to get the putback. And
she gets in there and makes a difference. Her speed, she's quick. Olsen gets a tip on the inbound. Holloway fighting for possession. Over to Delvos. Oh, who gets called with a traveling call, but made the point, but gets called for traveling before the shot went up. It'll be Washington's ball under the hoop.
yeah, Delfos got the pass, just wasn't able to gather and took one too many steps. She's since coming into the game, she's played with a lot of energy so far in this quarter.
Definitely. Sellers handling the ball at the top. Over to Steins. Over to Coppinger. Swords fights for possession, gets the ball. Michigan ball being inbounded from the side. The score is 64 Michigan, 48 Washington. There is just under 8 minutes left in this game. Michigan is maintaining this lead. Washington still unable to break that gap.
Yeah, and it's really sad at this 10 to 18 point margin for basis since the end of the first quarter.
Yeah. Olsen, top of the paint, into Hobbs, who goes for a layup, and it does not go in. Holloway, foul on the rebound for that shot.
Rare miss from Jordan Hobbs so far this game, and well, that was an easy look for her. Made a great cut to the basket, just not able to convert on the layup.
Washington, Sellers dribbling the ball over to Briggs. Working it around once more. Brown, back to Sellers. Sellers driving it in off her foot. Off of Michigan's foot, they say. Off of Michigan's foot. So it will be Washington's ball under the hoop. No foul, just a kick. Washington inbounds it to Ladine. Ladine fights. Goes for a layup, and it is no good. Hobbs tosses it over to Olsen, who's wide open to drive, and she scores. That is Olsen's 14th point of the game. Her and Hobbs are having an incredible performance today. Washington, Sellers. Over to Brown. Over to Steins. Dribbling it around once more to Briggs. Shot clock under 10 seconds. Ladine travels. Looks like she's going in for a layup and ends up traveling. It is Michigan's ball.
Yeah, at this point in the game, basically every mistake by Washington is just compiled. 16-point game right now.
And it looks like Washington calls
18-point lead
a timeout.
Yeah, 18-point game right now, and Michigan Washington not shown a lot of offense this quarter. Ladine has been a lot more aggressive, but last couple of possessions not able to convert. And again, Michigan just making enough making enough plays, and this game has just stayed at this margin for.
Yep. And like I said earlier, Washington seems to be rushing a little bit. Like that last play with Ladine going for that layup and traveling. Those are the rushes that I was talking about earlier, and that's what Michigan's capitalizing on those, because every time Washington makes those mistakes, Michigan's able to just turn around and either score a point or at least get a possession in their 50. But Washington's Sellers is just handling the ball really well, able to take it slow and go quickly when the time is appropriate. She has 17 points this game, closely followed by Ladine, who cooked up the second half with 15 points. Michigan has somehow stayed at this 49% field goal percentage, while Washington has crept up and is now at 42%. Michigan is shooting 44% from the 3, and Washington is 36 from the 3. Jordan Hobbs accounted for a lot of those threes. A lot of those happened in the first half, but she's able to put some points up on the board. But like you said, had a weird error underneath the hoop when she missed that layup. But still having an incredible game with 22 points. She's 4 for 6 at the 3-point line, so still a really good percentage for Hobbs. Another player, Olsen, 14 points, having a really great game. She is 2 for 3 at the 3. And is overall having this a great game. She just fights for position under the hoop unlike any other player on this team and really earns her points.
Yeah, Olsen's a really physical guard.
Very physical.
Nice, good size forward guard too, able to really use her strength to generate some of these shots. And
yeah, she's quick too. I feel like people don't give her that credit. She's a quick player, and she's strong, and she's putting up a lot of really good points. And she's essentially one of Michigan's greatest players, and she's a clutch player, is very versatile, and that's what's really incredible about her as a player.
Yeah, and so far in this fourth quarter, Washington not really helping themselves. 3 turnovers. Every possession is critical.
Yep. We are back underway. Michigan, Jordan Hobbs speaking. The Devil takes a 3, but it is no good. Michigan putting some really hard pressure on that rebound. Delfosse on the ball once again. She's quick. Energizer Bunny. She's always where the ball is. Playing great defense. Unfortunately, she just earned a foul as I say that. She earns a foul. But still, she's quick. She's fast. Defensively, she is really dynamic. And defense wins games and championships.
Yeah,
so
they're going to call this a shooting foul on the bump. Savia Swords is going to get sent to a line. She's Washington's leading scorer with 17.
Sellers is at the line. She is 1 for 1, and now she is 2 for 2 after she just sinks that first shot. She has 18 points this game so far, having a really good game for Washington. Takes her second shot, and she makes it. Washington putting some really hard full court press, is able to get a touch on it, but Michigan keeps possession, and Delfosse under the hoop for 2 points.
Yeah, perfect way to diffuse that hot full court press, and a nice bit of a tough gather for Swords is able to find Delfosse wide open in the basket.
Sometimes those full court presses take you by storm. Wow, Sellers drives in, scores 2. Michigan able to break through Washington's press easily. Olsen at the 3 and scores 3 points for Michigan.
Yeah, another possession where Michigan just able to easily break that press, and Washington overcommitted on Delfosse going to the basket, and maybe Olsen with a wide open 3-point shot.
Washington looking to drive but having to kick it back out. Ladine with the ball, dribbling around, looking like she's going to drive, has to kick it out. 5 seconds left on their shot clock. A shot goes up, and it is no good. But Washington maintains possession, and it goes over the half court. It is Michigan's ball. While they fought for that rebound, they lost possession with a little bit of a pass over her head, which she was not able to collect.
Over the head of Sellers. No chance for her to possibly get that ball, and Michigan's going to get the ball at half court here.
Little bit of a delay. And now here we go. Hobbs into Holloway. Eki is back in the game for Washington. Swords, top of the key, looking to pass it around to Olsen, who fights for position once again. And 2 points for Olsen. The score is 72 Michigan, 52 Washington. Washington breaks away quickly, scores 2 points, and gets a foul. She will go to the line. That is Brown for Washington.
Yeah, both teams Michigan a little slow on getting back on defense in that possession after Olsen was just able to get position, get an easy shot off.
Yeah, this is Brown's first time on the line, and she does not make the shot. She has 2 points this game, that being her first point of the game. Swords from the three and is short. Delfoss rebounds and puts it right back up for 2.
Yeah, and Michigan with a big lead. You think they would just sit back and run some clock, quick shots right there for the last couple of possessions.
Yep. Washington working it around. Daniels driving it in, kicks it over. Brown misses the shot, and Olsen is rebounding that. Holloway taking it up, looks to get a foul, but no foul is given. Swords drives in, kicks it back out to Holloway for a 3, who does not make it. Washington gains the rebound and is back up the court.
And another quick possession for Michigan.
Very quick. Sellers drives in, does not make it, and she is fouled. Sellers is 2 for 7 at the line right now. She has 21 points this game, hoping to get a few more right now.
Yeah, and outside of a great burst from Hannah Steins, this Washington team has really only been able to find scoring either through Savia Sellers or
Ladine as well. She's been great.
Yeah, those two have really been the only sources of offense. And, of course, they're your star players, but you're going to need production to win a game against this Michigan team as Sellers is able to convert both free throws. 74-56 Michigan.
Inbounding the ball, Michigan. Washington again putting on a full court press and a foul on Jordan Hobbs. When it comes, the score right now is 74 Michigan, 56 Washington. Definitely an in-game adjustment would be a full court press, and as we can see that, Washington is doing that. And very good game call from the coaching staff. It is time to just fight and get possession of this ball, try to get as many turnovers as you can. Michigan is up by quite a few points at this point. Lengthening that gap, Delfoss over to Hobbs in the corner. Out to Olsen from the 3, who shoots and is short. Delfoss for the rebound, puts it back up. No good. Michigan ball under the hoop. Score 74-56. 3:36 left in this game. Jordan Hobbs under for Grabowska. Score.
Pretty
2 points.
Beautiful play design right there.
Very beautiful.
Gets it into Grabowska, passes it out to Hobbs, fakes a shot, pulls the defense, just able to get Grabowska under the basket wide open.
Washington. McDonald open at the top, but chooses to pass it back to Sellers. Q Daniels playing some really tough defense.
Looks like she's going to
but gets a foul. Actually, sorry, excuse me. That foul was on Olivia Olsen. Washington's Sellers is at the line once again. She is 5 for 5 now. At the line now, she is 6 for 6 at the line. She's a stellar shooter. She is able to sink both as Michigan inbounds the ball. Just over 3 minutes left in this game. Score Michigan 76, Washington 58. Washington putting up a really tough full court press, swarming the ball. Michigan's able to break out of it easy. Grabowska to Holloway, who kicks it back out to
Yeah,
work it around the
Kind of a
paint.
smart decision by Del Foss. Just not take a shot. Run
Yep.
some more clock.
Point for Crockett. That is her first 2 points of the game. Michigan taking their time to really get possession of the ball to get a good, smart shot up, and that is exactly what happened. Michigan not letting up on their defense as Sellers drives in and puts it away for Washington. Crockett inbounding the ball to Olsen, back to Crockett as Washington is still applying this full court press to this Michigan team.
Yeah,
Over to Del Fosse in the
full
corner.
court, this
Back
full
up to,
court- I mean,
sorry, excuse me, you go. Wow, beautiful move by Washington as they drive in. That is Brown. I'm sorry, that is Steins absolutely just dicing it up the field.
Beautiful dribbling right there. Able to get a not beautiful reverse layup.
Michigan losing possession as they try to take it down the court pretty quickly. Trying to break through this Washington defense.
I mean, with the exception of that, as looks like Olivia Olsen's going to check after the last time. The exception of that last possession turnover of Michigan, Michigan's just able to break this full court press and really get good looks.
The simplicity of Michigan breaking it out. Q Daniels takes the ball for a breakaway and scores 2 points. That is her 4th points of the game right there.
Yeah, and
Beautiful defense.
Brooke Kroll Daniels, Michigan's best defender, just pokes the ball out. Stein's not really protecting it well. Wide open lane.
Michigan not letting anything up as they take down this Washington offense. Stein scores 2 under the hoop. Michigan again taking their time breaking it out, able to break through this Washington full court press. Del Fosse in the corner. To Brown. Over to Crockett. Or Del Fosse in the corner. And they're going to call, looks like a block on Michigan, so the ball will be turned over to Washington. Score 80 Michigan, 64 Washington with just under 1 minute left in the game. Steins taking up court for Washington. Still in possession. Steins looking to take it in. Kicks it out to the corner for Sellers, who sinks a 3 from the corner.
And that's gonna put Sellers up at 30 points. Incredible night for her. Just team scoring wasn't there, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna fall short.
Absolutely. Del Fosse over to Q Daniels. And Michigan almost loses possession over half court line, but maintains the possession as Brown rushes for that ball. Crockett taking it in, kicks it out to Del Fosse. She drives in. It is 2 points for Vanton Merritt. Washington with 15 seconds left in this game. Steins at the top, drives in, kicks under the hoop. Touch on Vanton Merritt from Michigan. It is Washington's ball with 6 seconds left in this game. Washington trying to inbound it. Top of the Steins. 2 seconds left for Steins, dribbling it. Tosses it up and sinks that shot with 2 seconds left. Great shot by Steins. Now, that game was quite a good game for Michigan. Not so great for Washington. Wait if they, both teams fought it out to the end. Washington giving a really, really valiant effort. Continuing that full court press into those last minute and 30 seconds. Well, Michigan able to just compete the last second of that game. Overall, great performance from both teams.
Yeah, and this was a pretty pivotal game I would say, for both teams. Washington has a good record, a better overall record than Michigan. They're currently sitting after this game. They're currently sitting at 12-6, 3-3 in conference play. But they never really had put together a quality win. They had a bad loss on the road against a 5-10 Montana team. And again, they come up short here. They came up short their last game, and they're going to leave their road trip to Michigan against Michigan and Michigan State disappointed with 2 double-digit losses. And for Michigan, really front-loaded Big Ten schedule. They had 3 of the best teams in the Big Ten as some of their first 3 opponents, and easier stretch for here. They beat Purdue. They put a win. They're going to get a win here. They got a win tonight here against Washington, and that's going to put them at 12-5 on the year, 3-3 in conference play. But they got a weaker opponent in the Big Ten against Rutgers coming up. They've been 2 big games to really judge how good this Michigan team is against more comparable competition rather than 3 top 10 teams in a row. They get a game against Minnesota, and then they have a big game against Michigan State, the main rivals, Spartans in the top 25. That's going to be a big game, good game for this team. That's really prove does this team have the capability to potentially make a run in March.
Absolutely. I mean, I think their season and schedule so far have shown them to be an incredible team. A lot more to prove in this very tough Big Ten conference, but both teams doing well, doing great today. Michigan has a lot left to prove. Excited to see it. But that's all for tonight. Thank you guys for listening, and we are signing off.